Alright, let's just finish up this little stretch of the yard. Finally got that mowed. And welcome back to Long's Farms. Last time we left, I was going to pick up some seed. I got that picked up off screen. And now, decided to get a little mowing done. This yard had gotten pretty bad. Oh, mower's not on. Alright, let's fix that. Hadn't really been mowed since Grandpa had passed away, and neighbors were taking care of the cattle for us, but they weren't really doing any yard work, which, I mean, they weren't getting paid, so I don't really blame them. Great neighbors, though. Really appreciate everything they did for the cattle. Alright, let's get this pulled back in. I'd like to get a brush hog or something eventually for the other parts of the yard. Don't really want to use the zero turn for everything out by the shops, but yeah, so alright, the plan for today is we need to start getting some soybeans in the ground. Like I said, I got the seed filled up, I got the planter filled up the first round. I don't have any fertilizer or anything in the tanks because we're using precision farming. Soybeans don't really take it. I am interested in maybe switching to realistic soil and fert sometime soon, which I did play around with a little bit. I like to use that. There's more you got to do. Kind of makes you actually have to use starter and anhydrous and all that, which I mean the map already has starter and anhydrous implemented on it. So I mean we're gonna use it when we're going for corn and stuff like that. And in the fall we'll till our soybean ground and throw in some anhydrous with it. Plus it's pretty cheap. Both starter and anhydrous are a lot cheaper than actual liquid fert. So we will start using that to our advantage, especially since, as you can see, we had 60,000, I think 65,000 at the end of last episode, and after buying seeds and some starter for corn, we are sitting at 54. I'm not against taking out an operating loan if I have to, but we will see what that's like when we come down to it. Gonna plant half, maybe a little under half of our fields of soybeans. See where we're at the end planning, how much time we have left by the end of the month of May. And if we actually did a decent amount, I mean, we're nowhere financially sound enough to buy another field, but I am totally open to maybe leasing one or two, seeing what that looks like. It's never bad to have some more acres to farm, help us make a few extra dollars at the end of the year and going into next June and grow that cattle herd up a little bit. So cattle are still doing good on hay. One bale seems to suffice pretty well for at least 2 days, especially with only having 2 bulls in that pen. But so not a lot of work to be done with them yet. We'll move the bulls over in the beginning of May. Hopefully they can start getting some work done. I'm thinking 2 should be good enough for the 25 cows we got, or 26 cows. Alright, let's get this started. We're doing row crop on this map, so it is row crop ready. I have to start with our end rows first. Let's get this set up. I do know Grandpa bought this tractor, like I said, used early 2000s, and treated him pretty well. Hopefully he treats me pretty well. Maintenance he'd kept up on pretty well, so there wasn't anything for us to do for it before we got started here. I think he just kind of got tired of that 8210 we got slipping when he was using a 6-row planter even, and or 8-row planter, my bad. Then when he jumped up to the 16-row, he needed something a little different, so I think he went with the tracks for that reason. Alright, let's get this started. Once we get set up on a good line here. Kind of want to hop into the PDA, go over the plan for what's going to get put where, and go from there. Now we're going to have to not be able to run this thing at 11 miles an hour due to advanced damage mod we're running. Try to maybe run it at 10. Nope, still a little too much. Bring her down to 9. Hopefully that helps keep us from overloading the system. There we go. Alright, let's look at the PDA here. So I think we're going to go beans in this field. Run over here, do beans in these two. And then I might do it in this one as well. I think that was my plan. I don't know. We'll get this one planted and we'll go from there. I think maybe I was actually going to put both of them in this field, do this one as corn, this big field here. Still need to, kind of new to the whole PC thing, so I need to figure out auto drive a little bit, and that'll help me in harvest season. It comes to running an auger wagon. Hire some help to pull that 1050 for us, and maybe another one to haul grain back to the farm. Otherwise harvest might take a while. Alright, get into this corner here. There we go. Grandpa used to plant quite a bit of wheat. He'd drill wheat with that drill we showed off in the equipment tour. Thought it was 755, I might be wrong. I think we're going to stick to beans and corn for the most part, and I do want to see how crack corn can be implemented in feeding our cattle. So might save some of that and have that produced for us to do. Oh, is that a turkey? That is. A little Tom fanned out for us there, sitting on a log it looks like. I do believe it's turkey season. Might have to, if we get a little bit of break in planting or something, a couple wet days, can't get back out in the field, we might have to sit out, try to get a long beard for us. Alright, probably should stop and do this, but I think that worked out pretty well. Might have missed a little bit there in the edge of that field. Here we go. Let's get back, check, make sure our depth and everything's right. Probably should start with that at the beginning. Make sure everything looks good. Row spacing's pretty solid. Yeah, I think everything looks pretty good. Still got a lot of weeds in this field. We're gonna have to come through over it with some herbicide. I don't love that. A lot of vibration going on in the wheels. Oh, haven't gotten any messed up lines yet. Alright, let's take a look while we're paused here. So, do this field as beans. I think I want to go these two as beans. Maybe this one as well. And then probably do this one. Then we'll switch everything else corn. So these two, this bigger field, this big field, both the ones next to the house, and this one. And these two. I don't know, there's just, I love harvesting corn. I like doing the beans, but oh, don't have GPS lines on. Hope that doesn't mess up our line or rows. Grandpa would be a little upset with that one. Alright. Coming around the end here. Probably get our first cut of hay in May. Might be a little early, but let's run over and take a look at the grass at some point, see how that's coming along. If we can get a cutting in May, that'd be great. If not, it's fine waiting until June. We're going to be busy enough the next 2 months, but... And I think we have enough bales, we'll be fine. At least until June. Might even have enough to sell. The grandpa left behind. Be a little older hay, probably not the greatest price, but some money coming in at least. Alright. Just started there. For equipment, like I was saying in the tour, there are some things I'd like to upgrade here soon, or eventually. First things I want to upgrade is that plant or that sprayer. I like that chafer sprayer, but with precision farming, it'd be nice to have something with some see and spray and pulse width. Come down and look here. So I don't think the 4940 it's got spot spraying. But I do think 4350 has some seed or Trimble weed seeker, and then it's got pulse width. I would like the strip tiller eventually. And then, or sorry, side dresser. I think the 4045, yeah, it's got see and spray and pulse width. It's a little out of our budget anytime soon, but if we could get it down the road, I think that's the upgrade I'd like to make. Especially because the only dealer near here is John Deere. Because we could always look at used. Got the dry applicator for it. Get a little close to that edge. I knew that'd be coming up. Alright, keep looking. Yeah, so there's no used sprayers for sale. Oh, that sucks. Gotta start paying attention. Never quite understood Giants' GPS. I don't know why. I couldn't have just made that turn with GPS. But I guess it's better than the last couple editions where there was no in-game GPS. It was just had to use mods. Like I said, I'm new to PC, so I was on console. But so it is a pretty good addition. I think it could be implemented a little better. And we have automatic row shut off, so I'm not worried about overlap there. We're going to do 2 headland passes, and I'll start doing the up downs and throwing some music in a montage. But yeah, like I was saying, that sprayer, I'd like to upgrade that. I'd like to upgrade the combine. See what our tillage stuff, it's not really the biggest tillage equipment, so we'll see what that looks like in the fall. I think we're going to be doing mainly all fall tillage. I know you can apply it in hydrous spring or fall. A little cheaper to do it in the fall. It's not as effective, but like I said, it's cheaper, and we'll just see how much time we have too after harvest, when the ground starts freezing and everything like that. Alright, should be coming up on the end of this headland pass. It's going to be a big turn. That probably wasn't the best one. Alright. Well, got the headland passes done. See you guys at the end of this field. Alright, we got those fields, that field done. I think we should be doing good on seed. The next two fields are put together, a little smaller than that one, plantable area. So, don't think we're going to need to grab more seed, at least on the next two. I was taking a look while I was planting. I was sitting on my phone because we have GPS. Nice thing about the future. Makes you a little lazy, but at least you can kill two birds with one stone. And looking at sprayers, see where we're at, what it's going to take us to, if we wanted to get a self-propelled sprayer or something like that. And we honestly might have to wait until something comes on the used market. We're nowhere near having the ability to spend $650,000 on a new JD sprayer. So, I'd rather put that money into growing the herd. I'd like to get it up to about 50 by the end of the year. But, and I think it'd probably be better off for us to upgrade a combine, to be honest, at some point. We can handle that 8-row corn head pretty well. It's still kind of maxing out, I think, that 9610. But especially it's a newer corn head. I mean, not new, but way newer than that combine. So, it's just that 22-foot soybean header. I mean, unless we're going to start hiring help, we're going to want something a little bigger at some point. Would eventually like to build my own house. So, Grandpa's house is nice, but it was Grandpa's. Brings back a lot of good memories, but I'd like to keep it as that. I mean, at some point, maybe put a hand in there or something. If we can grow big enough where we need a hired guy, we can afford to let him live there, make that part of his pay, and then build a house. I was just looking at this area. It'd be nice to turn this into another pasture and put a house right up here too. But yet again, kind of like a sprayer that's going to be far down the road. So, Grandpa always said to dream big though. He just kind of lost that dream. Okay, get through here. Yeah, this field's a little smaller than the last one. Shouldn't take as long to plant. Get over this culvert. There's that big field next to us here though. Be kind of cool to own that thing. It would be a little bit of a pain to run just with all the shapes going throughout it. Alright, get turned around here and get started on this first headland. Decided to get into corn planting, hook those saddle tanks up. Here we go. I always have Rod. He's the used equipment dealer around here. Help us find a used sprayer or something if we want to upgrade or we feel the need to. Same with the combine. So I'm sure he could find us a used STS or something that could maybe get up to a... Let's see what headers we even have available. Get up to a 25-foot header or even a 30. But yeah, I do like these legacy headers too, and they're not as expensive. So those are always an option. Alright. Well, I'm going to get this field planted and get onto these two down here. And hopefully we can get into some corn planting. But, well, if you like the video or the last video and you want to keep following along with the series, just make sure you like and subscribe. I have a button popping up on screen if you want to subscribe, and you can always hit that like button down below. Anything you want to see different or any suggestions. Like I said, last episode I'm new to the whole YouTube thing, so anything you'd like to see done differently, just let me know. Definitely take it into consideration. So, thank you for watching, and have a happy 4th of July.